2 years after debuting the Pixel Buds Pro, the second gen version is here. Say hello to Google Pixel Buds Pro 2. While on the surface they look kind of the same, there's some definite updates and improvements here. For starters, they are smaller and lighter, which should make the fit more comfortable. They have AI assistance built in, and they bring back the stabilizing silicone fin for secure support. What else is new? I got a pre-release set of Peony Pink Pixel Buds Pro 2 from Google, and while the company did gift them to me in advance of their public launch to allow me time to test them, they've not asked for nor received permission to have any input into this review, and I got to test them out as I wanted, so you can consider these thoughts my own. In this review, I'm going to take a look at what's new, including the addition of AI-powered assistant Gemini Live, how the other new features work, how they sound, and what Google did about the battery life. We'll wrap things up with the pros and the cons, and I'll let you know if I think I can recommend the Pixel Buds Pro 2 for you. Let's start with what's new. When you hold one of the new buds next to the Gen 1, you can see the difference. Officially, Pixel Buds Pro 2 are 27% smaller and 24% lighter, but what does that mean for you? I found they felt far less fat and bulky in my ears, making them extremely comfortable. The smaller size does make them perhaps a little fiddlier to grip and to place, but you should get used to this fairly quickly. The silicone fin came in the earlier buds, but it was dumped from the Gen 1 Buds Pro, and now Google's brought it back. This time it's less a hook and more of a small silicone ridge. It is barely noticeable, but it does provide some additional grip on the buds, helping them to feel more secure in your ear. I found these are some of the most comfortable earbuds I've tried in a long time, and that I could wear them longer than pretty much any other earbud I've reviewed. The fit is so perfectly seamless that it was easy for me to forget I was even wearing them, and that's saying a lot when it comes to earbuds. Most are far too large, designed to hold bigger sound drivers and larger batteries, but here Google has put fit and comfort above all, and it succeeds in making these extremely wearable. The pebble-shaped charging case is touchably smooth and soft and slides easily into pocket or purse. It has this matte softness that just makes you want to hold it and play with it, kind of like you might do with a smooth river stone. The buds themselves keep the similarly nature-inspired feel with perfectly rounded edges, and they sit very flush with the ear. Setting up the Pixel Buds Pro 2 was easy, and I tried it on both the Pixel 9 smartphone and the Apple iPhone 15. The buds will link automatically to a Pixel phone using FastPair, and you'll be connected without much work from you. Just push the pairing button on the back and watch for the light on the case to flash, then you should get a pop-up on your Pixel phone screen. In case you're wondering, yes, you can use these with an iPhone. On the iPhone, you just need to push that pairing button again and wait for the light, then go to your phone's Bluetooth settings and you can tap to connect. Now, if you are going to use them with an iPhone, it may be important to know that a lot of the additional features aren't accessible because you do need the Pixel Buds app to enable them. Even without the app, you can still access basic features using the touch controls on the buds, including noise cancellation and transparency mode. Let's take a quick look at what the app does get you, by the way. On a Pixel or Android phone, you can check your battery levels, adjust settings and features like spatial audio, in-ear detection, and the Find My Device option. You can also ring your earbuds to locate them if you've misplaced them. Pixel Buds Pro 2 keep the noise cancellation and transparency mode, which is becoming kind of standard these days. Noise cancellation, of course, will block out extraneous sound, while transparency mode will let you keep an ear out for your doorbell or your boss calling for you. The noise cancellation works incredibly well, and the ambient mode is among the best I've tried. It sounds completely natural, as if you're not even wearing any earbuds at all, and there's none of that hollow tinniness or echo that you tend to get using transparency mode on a lot of other earbuds and headphones. Now is a good time to talk about sound quality. From the beginning, I've been impressed by Pixel Buds' audio quality. They sound just as good as a much more expensive pair of earbuds and really seem like they're punching well above their weight. I listened to a variety of music and audio during my week or so with the buds before their public launch. I found that the earbuds are extremely well balanced and they have an incredibly rich sound overall. Music sounds amazing on Pixel Buds Pro 2. The bass is subtle but vibrant, the vocals are really clear, and there's a lot of fine details in the sound. I've had a pair of Pixel Buds as my go-to headphones since the very first version was launched because I firmly believe they are the best, and these continue the high quality audio tradition, and they seem to even add a little bit more too. When it came to phone and video calls, the Pixel Buds Pro 2 were similarly great. Audio sounded clear and it seemed like the background noise was even being minimized. Listening to podcasts, the speech quality is clear and accurate, and overall these are really top-notch. One thing I did notice during my testing is that if I would pinch the buds in order to twist them to get a little tighter fit, sometimes there would be almost a squeaking or a chirp noise in my ear that sounded a bit like low-grade feedback. It was only ever when I'd grasp them more firmly and twist, and it didn't happen at any other time, and to that end it was extremely intermittent. Touch controls are built into the Pixel Buds Pro 2 and they are super responsive. Swiping front to back on the buds adjusts volume, and touching and holding the buds will swap between noise cancelling and transparency mode. Other features that are becoming more common in more advanced earbuds and headphones are spatial audio and head tracking. Now, worth noting that only content made in spatial audio or with head tracking ability would be noticeable using these buds. It's not going to show up in your everyday audio.
Change topics as the conversation flows.
This year, Google's been all about Gemini, and Gemini was the star of the show when I attended Google's media event earlier this year. The Gemini app allows you to write questions and make requests using AI, and the next level of that is known as Gemini Live, which allows you to carry on a more natural conversation verbally with the Gemini assistant.
Social media posts.
I've been trying it out over the last couple of months and found it extremely helpful, very intelligent, and that it works surprisingly well overall. Gemini Live does require a Gemini Advanced paid subscription, but it essentially lets you invoke the assistant to carry on a conversation, and you can throw multiple requests at Gemini verbally that it can answer pretty easily.
How about we play a little word game?
Technically, Gemini is different from the Google Assistant, and obviously it has a different name, but strictly speaking, Google has engineered Gemini in the earbuds to be invoked by using the Google Assistant name specifically. I have to say I'm getting a little confused by the branding differences between Gemini and Google Assistant, and I would love some clarity about whether these two assistants are definitely going to be separate entities going forward, or if we're just going to merge them into one. As it is now, if I want help from Gemini while wearing the Buds 2 Pro, I say, "Hey Google, let's talk," sorry for triggering your speakers, and it'll summon the Gemini Live Assistant for me. I did get it to do something as complex as take a photo of a recipe using the app, and then I put the phone away and asked Gemini, or Google Assistant, what the ingredients from that recipe that I saved were, and it started reading them out to me out loud, which I thought was pretty cool. While Gemini Live does use my Pixel 9 smartphone as its base, I can shut the phone off and put it away and still make my requests as long as the phone continues to be nearby. Touching on the battery life, Google's essentially kept the life the same as the previous generation buds. It appears it's trying to squeeze out an extra hour or so, but for the most part, the specs on listening time are largely holding steady. You'll get about 8 hours in the buds and about 30 in the case. That's actually pretty good, and considering that Google shrunk the design by 1/3 in favor of comfort and still managed to hold the battery life steady, that's actually kind of remarkable. Buds 2 Pro will charge with a wired USB-C connection, or you can use wireless charging, and fast charging is also packed in. Juice it up for 15 minutes to quickly grab up to 3 hours of extra battery life. Unlike 95% of earbuds out there, these are comfortable and soft enough to sleep in, even for side sleepers. Google's shrinking of the size and weight have made these an even better option for sleepers, and laying on them also doesn't trigger the touch controls. I was able to easily connect Pixel Buds Pro 2 to multiple devices like my phones, tablet, and laptop. Google calls this audio switch, and you can automatically swap among both Android and iOS devices. Overall, I'm incredibly impressed by the way Google is able to keep improving and innovating these earbuds. Let's go over the pros and the cons. When it comes to the pros, the fit, design, and comfort are even better than the original Pros, and they way outdo any close competitor. The sound quality is fantastic, the bass is solid, and the overall sound is so well balanced. Noise cancellation and transparency mode work super well, and transparency mode in particular lets you let that audio in without the annoying hum or hollowness. It's also good to see popular features like multiple device connections, translation services, and in-ear detection are still packed into these tiny little buds. The touch controls work well, and in all they are just a joy to wear and use. So what are the downsides? In all honesty, I am struggling to find any major issues or valid complaints with these. Yes, things I could complain about are that Google did not improve the battery life, but given the substantial size shrinkage, I'd say it could be forgiven. There was also that weird intermittent squeak when I adjusted them sometimes, but it seems to have disappeared for now. I can definitely recommend the Google Pixel Buds Pro 2 to you, especially for Pixel phone users and yes, even for iPhone owners. The Buds Pro 2 have gotten a slight price increase from the original Buds Pro. Now selling for $229 US or $299 Canadian, you can get them from Google's website and from Amazon. And Buds 2 Pro are made to work perfectly with Pixel phones, so you should check out my hands-on review of the Google Pixel 9 smartphone or see why my favorite fitness and activity device is the new Pixel Watch 3 right now.